NBA free agency talk slowly dying down. Summer League's done. While all the crazy signings are over, as the NBA will look to have a little bit of downtime for once, there have been many recent lottery picks over the course of this decade where a bunch of players simply have not lived up to their expectations and are in danger of no longer being in the league for much longer. How's it going, guys? My name is Wilson. There are a bunch of high draft picks selected within the last couple years who signed 1 to 2 year minimum deals, having another opportunity to prove themselves before they become a total bust. A few of these players were highly anticipated high school and college stars who were supposed to be great NBA players. Starting with Jahlil Okafor, who hasn't signed with anybody yet, worked out for 4 teams this summer, received plenty of offers to play overseas in China, desperately trying to earn himself a contract, putting in work this offseason, played 3 seasons in the NBA. It's sad to say, there's a chance Jahlil might not play in the league next season, was supposed to be the next generation of great big men, selected 3rd overall by the 76ers in the 2015 draft, was compared to Karl Anthony Towns in college. While many debate who was better, of course it's not even close right now. Jahlil was ranked number 1 in high school, putting up 17.5 points and 7 boards for Philly, who was purposely tanking, had way too many flaws in his game, slow feet, sometimes never even tried on defense. His minutes and production went down his 2nd and 3rd season before Philly realized Jahlil was not part of their future, traded him to the Nets, played 26 games in Brooklyn, didn't make much of a difference, was out of basketball shape. Essentially, the Nets just gave up on him. Now he's still trying to figure out where he will end up next season. Crazy how things turn in a blink of an eye. Other players who will be free agents after next season, if they don't prove to be quality NBA players, will likely be out of the league and playing elsewhere. Stanley Johnson of the Detroit Pistons, selected 8th overall in the 2015 draft, the 22-year-old small forward shown promising signs as a rookie where he put up 8 and 4, had the assignment of guarding LeBron James in the playoffs, didn't back down, even trash talk the king. That was probably the last time many NBA fans heard of Stanley. Was a disaster his 2nd year, averaged 4.4 points, 2.5 boards, has not made any improvements since his rookie season. A pretty solid on-ball defender, but has difficulty making shots, a career 37% shooter, will be a restricted free agent after next season. If he can't prove to be a solid contributor for a mediocre Pistons team, his future in the NBA might not last very long. Michael Carter-Williams of the Houston Rockets. There is nothing to suggest how MCW can make the Rockets better. On a 1-year minimum contract, it might not hurt that much, but ever since his rookie season, his careers and numbers just went downhill. It got so bad, it seemed like MCW lost all his confidence in his game, from countlessly missing wide open layups to airballing jumpers, with the Hornets shot a horrendous 33% from the floor, 24% from 3. Now entering his 6th NBA season, I truly believe this is Carter-Williams' last opportunity to prove he can be a quality player. You never know of the questionable health of Chris Paul. MCW might have to start a couple games next season. What better way to do it than with the offensive genius head coach Mike D'Antoni, who makes all his point guards better. Very interesting to see if Carter-Williams will have a few games where he will look like his former self with the Sixers. Sam Dekker of the Los Angeles Clippers. The 6'9" forward out of Wisconsin was the 18th overall pick by the Houston Rockets in the 2015 draft. Only played 3 games as a rookie due to injury. Now 2 full seasons in, the 24-year-old will be a restricted free agent in 2019. Was part of that Chris Paul trade, averaged only 4.2 points, 2.4 rebounds in limited minutes last season. Very athletic, coming off the bench, can run the floor, a career 48% shooter, only shot 16% from downtown last season. Will drastically need to step up next season, otherwise the NBA might just give up on him. Justice Winslow of the Miami Heat. Alongside his former Duke teammate Okafor, Winslow was drafted 10th overall in 2015, has been a big disappointment for the Heat, averaged over 8 points, 5.4 rebounds on 42% shooting. Have not made any improvements since, tends to get very sloppy with his ball handling, was supposed to be one of the main guys for Miami, finished 10th in scoring for the Heat. As a restricted free agent in 2019, it seems like many Heat fans have already given up on him, but even if Miami don't sign him, I believe some other teams will pick him up on a short deal because of his great on-ball defense. Alfred Payton of the New Orleans Pelicans. I'll include Payton on this list in case he has a bad season for the Pelicans and still depend on him to play plenty of minutes at the point. After 4 seasons with the Magic, the 6'4" point guard put up decent numbers, 11.1 points, 4.2 rebounds, 6.4 assists with Orlando, but were mainly empty stats since the team was terrible. The dysfunctional franchise wanted to get rid of him so badly to Phoenix, they only got a second round pick in return. Yikes. Making it clear he was not the point guard future, his poor shot selection and defensive struggles raises a huge concern in today's NBA. As he's still trying to figure out his best role in the league, I see Payton coming off the bench, getting buckets here and there. I believe he's safe for now, as long as his hair won't block his jump shot. His talent and athleticism will intrigue a few teams after next season, but nothing's guaranteed. Payton's former teammate Mario Hezonja of the New York Knicks, drafted 5th overall right behind teammate Kristaps Porzingis, the 6'8" forward out of Croatia, has been pretty awful his first 3 seasons, very inconsistent at times, made a bunch of lousy decisions with his playmaking, very disappointing with the Orlando Tragic, who can't do anything right after the departure of Dwight Howard. Mario is still only 23 years old, a great athlete in the open floor, shows flashes of great potential this past season, averaged 15.5 points, 5 rebounds, 2.2 steals on 57.8% true shooting this past February, his best basketball so far. The Knicks will need all hands on deck with KP still recovering from injury. Hezonja will get plenty of playing time for the Knicks' second unit, which leads to his teammate Emmanuel Mudie, who was ranked number 1 in the nation amongst point guards during high school, was supposed to play college ball at SMU, decided to go to China due to financial situations, only played 12 games overseas before suffering a season-ending ankle injury, was projected to be a top 3 pick, fell down all the way to 7, started at point for the Nuggets, showed great potential, having multiple games of 20 plus points and 10 plus assists, but was very inconsistent. Some nights couldn't even make a shot, struggled finishing at the rim, causing him the starting role as Mudie played less of a role, not a good off-ball player, didn't even play at times, was traded to the Knicks for Doug McDermott and a second round pick in Justin Jackson out of Maryland, continued to be inconsistent, shooting 37% from the field, under 20% from 3 in 22 games with New York. If Mudie doesn't improve on his jumper, his time in the NBA might be coming to an end, as most Knicks fans will give him one more chance to redeem himself. Alongside teammate Trey Burke, selected a year before Mudie by the Timberwolves, the former 9th overall pick redeemed himself a little bit with the Knicks last season, put up nearly 13 points and 5 assists. Head coach David Fizdale will have a lot of young assets to test out, as we'll know more and more on who's capable of contributing. Burke had a career high in March, putting up 42 points, 10 assists against the Hornets, as he, Frank Ntilikina, and Mudie will all be fighting for the starting point guard role. Heading into free agency next season, I strongly believe the 6-foot point guard is on the safe end on this list, will have multiple offers, proven to be a decent scorer, will be perfect coming off the bench for playoff teams, as he's been having fun balling this summer, recently dropping 35 at Dykeman. Nerlens Noel of the Oklahoma City Thunder. If OKC has any chance of contending in the West, the 24-year-old Noel needs to be a difference maker. Projected to be one of the brightest future big men, Noel was picked 6th overall in the 2013 draft by the New Orleans Hornets before being traded to Philly. Would have probably been the number 1 pick if it wasn't for his ACL injury at Kentucky. Showing a lot of promise his first 2 seasons, putting up around 10 and 8, posting nearly 2 steals and 2 block shots, has all the tools to be one of the best defensive big men. But the Sixers experiment pairing him and Okafor turned out to be a nightmare, as none of them had the skills to play power forward. As soon as Embiid was proven to be a game changer, the rest was history. Dealt with multiple injuries, Noel's time with Dallas was also a mess, got beaten by Dwight Powell many times in the starting center role, even turned down a 4-year $70 million extension, thinking he was worth more, ended up with a 1-year $4.1 million qualifying offer, a huge mistake, having the worst season of his career, putting up 4.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, his worst defensive year so far, can't do much offensively besides catching lobs and dunking, listed at 228 pounds, needs to get stronger, ended up with a 2-year minimum, his second year as a player option. Noel has to vitally make a strong impression next season if he has any chance of seeing another $70 million offer in the future, otherwise he might have made the worst personal financial decision in NBA history. Losing $70 million? Don't be that guy. My last 3 players includes Nick Stauskas of the Portland Trail Blazers, Ben McLemore traded back to the Sacramento Kings, and Cameron Payne of the Chicago Bulls, who all underachieved significantly, as McLemore and Payne's career has been slowed down by injuries, while Stauskas struggled to find a role. If any of those guys don't make an impact next season, some of them will definitely be out of the NBA after 2019. Hopefully they all step their game up. A recent example would be Giorgio Papagiannis, waived by the Blazers, will be playing overseas in Greece next season, might never never have the chance to play in the NBA again.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Which former recent lottery picks do you guys think will be playing overseas after next season? Let me know in the comments below. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love my channel, subscribe for more content, more good stuff coming soon. You don't want to miss out. See you next time.